Yeah, I have to make a short documentation here. I took 2 phones into 607 over on Vestal Parkway the other day, and I handed them to the lady, and she said she'll look at them and come back in 25 minutes. She'll put the one phone on a quick charge because didn't have any, and she'll take care of the other one and make sure everything's fine with it. 25 minutes, come on back. I came back 25 minutes, went next door to the CBD or whatever it was. And I come back over. He says, here. Oh, she says, here's your phone. $32. You get your discount because you're a veteran. All that. I said, okay. Oh, what about my other phone? She goes, what other phone? You didn't bring another phone in here. I says, I did too. I gave you 2. Here's a person fixing phones. They got a good memory. Not more than 25 minutes ago, she can't remember that she took both of my phones, put one of them on a quick charger, and the other one she was working on. Told me come back 25 minutes. Now she's trying to rip me off for my $1,500 brand new phone that was only a year old. She put it on a quick charger. I says, I brought it in here. I brought 2 of them in here. You took them both. No, you didn't. You only brought that one. So she made me go out to my car and search my car, come back in, and I says, you've got that other phone. And then the lady came out from behind, the door opened up, and I looked at the white cord that she had plugged into my phone for the quick charge, and it was still plugged into a phone. And I says, there it is, right there. That's my phone. You got it on the quick charge. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you forgot, all right. You fix phones. You got a brain enough to fix phones, and you forgot 25 minutes ago? You're trying to take an old man for his $1,500 phone, is what you're trying to do. Lower your voice, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. That's what happened again. And I'm not going to go into the other ones. They're on the internet. Some of them, YouTube wouldn't post them. I'm telling the truth. Here, people. And YouTube wouldn't post them. Because they're going to start something. Yeah, start the truth. Start the truth to be known rather than the hoodwinkers taking you over, taking the little old men. They don't know what they're doing. You didn't bring another phone in here. You only brought those 2. She was only 30, 40 years old. She had a good brain in her head. She wasn't stoned. I could tell by looking at her. She was just a crook, a hoodwinking thief. So I'm making a note of it in case I have to come back someday. And probably YouTube won't even let it load. Watch and see. I'll try it on Facebook. Maybe they'll let it go. But I'm going to tell you right now, you got hoodwinking crooks out there that are blaming it on, I forgot. When I caught him. And I got other tapes on there to tell you I went to other stores that they tried to do the same thing to the old man. But I caught him because they think I'm out of it. They think I got a long beard hair, I'm stoned, I don't know what the fuck's going on. They'll grab everything I got. And that's what they do. They tried to get my $800 amplifier. Told me I didn't. I told them to put it in the back of my truck because I got spinal stenosis. Because I brought it down there to get a microphone for it. So they put all my stuff in the truck and I took off. And then I got home, there was no amplifier. I said, what happened? We put the amplifier. We don't have an amplifier. Your amplifier's not here. That's it. I'm calling the cops. And I called the cops. And an hour later, the general manager came back and says, we found your amplifier. And I brought the cops in, and he points at me. He says, I do not want that man back in here. And the cop looks at me and he goes, where's your cameras? No, they lied to him and said they don't have any. He goes, oh, okay. They got hidden cameras in there that not even the management knows about. They're digitally monitoring all transactions at the cash register because they're $45 million in debt. In the red that have been stolen from them. And they got it all on digital. Not even the general managers know that they have digital in their stores. I called up Chicago and I told them that everything happened. They never called me back. They saw me get ripped off and they did nothing about it. And I made the report, and there's police and everything involved. And I bring the cops over. The first thing they said, let me do the talking, you just keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm doing it. So he says, where's your cameras? He says, oh, we don't have any. So he lied to him right there. Then he goes in the back and he gets my amplifier and brings it up in front. Brand new amplifier, $800. Just paid for it not long ago. They're trying to steal it from me. The crooks that he has working for him. He hired a couple crooks, a couple hoodwinking. Boy, they got. I watched them do it twice. I watched them do it to a guy that had $1,200 out. He's a DJ. And he put it out and counted it and everything. He says, I can't count that right now. I have to take it back to the counter. Okay, go ahead. So he takes it back to the counter and brings it back. Hands him a slip. He says, you're $100 short. There's not $1,200 here. There's only $1,100. What are you going to do about it? Call me a liar? So they got him for $100. The guy just flipped another $100. He's looking all around for a pile of $100 that he's short. A pile. Either that, he counted every pile wrong. I watched him count it. There was $1,200 there. And that guy stole the 100 of them. And then he's teaching his assistant how to do it. And the assistant did it to me. I laid two 50s, and two 50s. That's 300. I says, 300, right? He goes, right. How much more? $68. I give him $72 tip. I says, oh, I got to go get a tuner. I go back and I look for a tuner. I come back and he looks at me and goes, you're $100 short. What? How do you figure that? Those 250s that you put down weren't 250s. They were 220s. I'm an old man, He's trying to confuse my brain. He's a young guy, hoodwinking. Confuse my brain. I says, you hoodwinking crook. What are you calling me, a liar? You calling me names? He's shouting it out and everything. That's it. I caught you because I wouldn't be $100 short, stupid ass. Why? Because if those were 220s that I put down there, I'd only be $60 short, idiot. You don't even know your math and you're going to be an assistant manager? That happened to me. And I called the main office and they put it under the table. Even though they're being took for $45 million in the red. Proof. How do you prove it? How does an old man prove that he's being hoodwinked? Well, right there's the proof. You're $100 short because he had it in his head. He took the 250s, put them in his pocket, and he went over my other pile and he got 220s out of it and put it there while I was gone. That quick he was. They got the game down. You got a pile of money on and they know what to do with it. You don't bring cash anymore. Especially if they're like, where do they come from? I've never seen these people before. That's what the system is creating. Hoodwinking crooks. So I said, oh, if those are 250s, and 250s and 250s, that's 300. You said yes. So I gave you 70 instead of $68 more. And you said it'll be $68 more than that. Because I was buying a Cresseria organ there. I had trade-in. He's trying to hoodwink me out of $100. So he puts the 250s, puts them in his pocket while I got my back turned. And he takes 220s on my other pile. I had my pile with my wallet on top of it. I just went to the bank and brought it back. I'm buying all kinds of stuff. Trusting everybody, and all that. A bunch of hoodwinking crooks. Guitar Center. Hoodwinking crooks. I had another guy do that too. Another music center did that to me. I negotiated a contractor to come in, and this guy made $1 million easy off of him. As a matter of fact, the guy told me he did over $300,000 worth of business. These little jobs and all that stuff, and I was supposed to get 3% of it. I told you I'd set you up 3%. The guy dies. I don't get my 3%. 300 grand, he said he did. Undocumented. Under the table. And if you don't believe me, go to McNeil Music and look at the buildings out and back. See how he paid for that. Paid to it through my negotiation. I was a real estate broker. I broker deals. And I went on their word. Because I respected them. I wanted to show them I respected them. And they went back on their word. They never paid me a cent. Matter of fact, when I ordered a guitar, he made me pay full price for it. So I smashed it. I don't want none of their business. He's lucky I'm a Christian. He's lucky. What I would do to people like that. Thank God he saved my keister. Because that would be a dead man right now. Doesn't feel good to kill people. I'm a Vietnam veteran. It doesn't feel good to kill people. Putin. Give your money to the poor and put water wells in Africa, and maybe you'll have a chance. Because you did something in faith. You keep 10% of your money. You'd still be one of the most wealthiest men in the world. Give the rest to God. Put water wells in Africa, wherever they're needed, where the children can be baptized and they can drink clean water instead of drinking that milky, filthy, pukey, turd-infested water out of the river. They're dying from stomach diseases. And we're going to Mars, spending $71 billion to see if they got water. Sort out your priorities, people, because you're all going to hell if you don't. But I'd like to end it on a prayer. Oh my God, I'm only sorry for having offended you, and I attest all my sins because of your just punishment, but most of all because of it. And to you, my God, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve with the help of thy grace to confess my sin, to do penance, avoid near occasion of sin. Amen. The near occasion of sin. Avoid, Putin. Stop now, or you'll burn in hell forever. Putin, I saw a gold cross around your neck riding a horse one time. If you got a conscience and you have any faith at all, even the sliver of a mustard seed, you better plant it now, because your time has come. Either do or die. There, I'd like to bring you back to God through the love. But sometimes a whip has to thrash your sides to bring you back in line. Go out to the tree and get a stick, big as a broomstick, and bring it back in here so I can peel it and whip your ass. That's what God is saying to you, Putin. Now you better repent and do it quickly, or you're gonna pay royally.